Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. I don't know about you, but when it turns fall, I always feel like I want to work around the house and just cook cozy food and get organized. So I am going to give you some awesome productivity motivation in today's video. Thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. I'm going to be showing you guys later in the video how I used my Cricut Joy to make a to-do list and a Kanban board, and I love it. It is going to help my productivity so much. I've also got some cleaning motivation, a grocery haul, and some organization motivation. So we've got it all in today's video. Let's get started. All right, guys, so I actually have today off and my kids are at school and Adam is at work. So it's the perfect day for me to get stuff done. The first thing that I'm going to prioritize this morning is getting my groceries ordered. I didn't really go grocery shopping this past weekend. I did pick up a few things, but I'm going to be filming a video this week that I needed some specific things for. So I need to put that order in right now. I'm just finishing up doing that. It looks like the earliest that I'll be able to pick it up is like this evening, which Connor has soccer practice, so it'll be later this evening. So I'll show you that haul. But what I want to get done during the day today is designing and finishing my Kanban board, which is what's going to hang in my office, and I'm going to categorize my to-do list on it. I've wanted one of these forever and decided finally I'm just going to make it happen. So that's mostly what I want to work on today, and then hopefully tonight, if we have time, Adam can help me hang it up. But if not, we'll keep going throughout the week organizing more things and we'll get it done. So I really feel like my life has come full circle, and here is why. So I am so excited that Cricut is sponsoring today's video because, you guys, I have been an OG Cricut user from back in the day. So a lot of you that have followed me for a while know that I am a scrapbooker, and I've been a scrapbooker for a long time, probably since actually before Kira was born. Anyway, this is one of my scrapbooks from when Kira was a baby. And this is a page that I made in 2010 or 2011 with my Cricut at that time. So this was cut with the Cricut, the sun and the clouds, the butterfly, the background, and the words here. I forget even what the machine was called. Maybe it was like a Cricut Explorer or something like that. But anyway, I submitted this page to Cricut magazine. Yes, there used to be a Cricut magazine, and this was one of the first, if not, I think the first scrapbook page that I ever had published in a magazine. So here it is on this page right here. I still have kept all of my magazines that my scrapbook pages have been published in, but you can see like all of the instructions down there, and yeah, I use my Cricut to make that. So anyway, I'm gonna share a project today that I made with my Cricut Joy. So let's get started on that. You guys are gonna love it. So the project I'm gonna share with you guys today that I'm gonna make with my Cricut Joy is a Kanban board. Now I have to say, with the pronunciation, I know some people pronounce it Kanban, some people pronounce it Kanban. I've always pronounced it Kanban, so that's how I'm going to say it. But if you're not familiar with this tool, it's basically a visual tool to make sure that your work is on track and you're being productive, and it really helps you visualize your to-do list, which is super helpful for me. So if you guys are not familiar with the Cricut Joy, it is an awesome little machine. It allows for quick and easy personalization and really quick and fun projects in 15 minutes or less. It is really the perfect companion to quickly and easily personalize anything with one cut and one color in 15 minutes or less, so you can do practical everyday projects and you can take it anywhere and use it anywhere. Cricut's smallest cutting machine ever, so it fits in a cubby. It even has a carrying case, and it also looks great on a counter. It packs away easily and sets up easily. Super simple to use. I honestly wish I would have had one of these when I was like traveling to scrapbooking crops. Did you guys ever go to those in the late 90s, early 2000s? It would have been so much easier to take my die cutting machine with me. So I'm just going to talk you through my process for making this board. I ordered this whiteboard on Amazon, and I can link it down below. This is a glass board, and so it is quite heavy, but you can purchase any type of whiteboard that you want. You can spend as little or as much money on it as you want. They obviously have whiteboards at just about every Walmart and Target, so feel free to get one from there as well. I wanted kind of a motivational quote at the top of the board, and I was really looking for productivity story based quotes to use, and I didn't want something that was super long because I wanted to be able to read it easily from my office. And so I came up with this quote that I found online called "Nothing worth having comes easy." And so I feel like it's just a really great reminder to me that things take time, things are hard, and yet we have to do them anyway and stop procrastinating, because I need that reminder all the time. As you can see, my Cricut Joy set up super easily. All I did was I typed the text into the Cricut design space on my phone and I sent it via Bluetooth to the machine. I'm cutting out the quote in black vinyl, and then all I did was take the backing off, and right now you see me just kind of peeling that backing off of the letters. I'm going to use transfer tape to transfer this onto my whiteboard. This is the same process if you were going to put a design on like a pantry container or a cup or a mug or anything like that. The vinyl is super easy to cut. I had zero problems with this machine. The vinyl is actually designed to work in this machine without a cutting mat, which I think is super awesome. So you don't have to stick anything to the mat. You just feed the roll of vinyl right into the machine and it works perfectly. So once I had my quote on my transfer tape, I just went ahead and measured my whiteboard. I wanted to make sure that this was fairly centered and level. I'm not into perfection necessarily, but obviously this is a project that I wanted to look nice. And so I wanted to make sure that, you know, it was center in the middle of the board. So once I had everything marked, you basically just flip the phrase over and press it down onto the board and then carefully peel up the transfer tape and your quote is left on the board. It is that easy. So the other thing that I wanted for this board was to have three sort of vertical categories. So one category is going to say to do, the next category is going to say in progress, and then the third category is going to say done. And what I'm going to do is use sticky notes to then put my tasks on the board, and I'm going to move them from to do to in progress to done. And I really think this is going to help me because I am such a visual person and I do use a planner and I do use to-do lists, but something about having this up on the wall, I think is just really awesome in helping keep that to-do list really front and center so that can keep you motivated to complete your tasks throughout the day. So for the categories of the to-do, in progress, and done, I just used a really simple sans serif font. I didn't want to do too many like scripty or fancy fonts on this project because I wanted to just have it simple and be able to see it. So I'm just cutting that out with my vinyl. I did decide to do the quote in black, and since the quote was in black, I went ahead and did the categories in the colored vinyl. The Cricut vinyl comes in many different colors, and it also comes in both removable and permanent vinyl, so that's awesome too. I will have a link in the description box below to Cricut's website and to some of the products that I used in today's video if you guys want to check them out. I honestly would recommend ordering direct from Cricut's website, and the reason for that is that you can make sure that you are getting like brand new, high quality actual Cricut products, which is sometimes a problem when you order from other larger online retailers. And the other great thing too is that they offer bundles. So depending on what your particular DIY or crafting needs are, you can get the bundle that sort of fits what you need it for, and everything sort of comes in one package. So it's awesome. You don't even have to think about it. If you guys end up getting one of these Cricut machines and you make any products with it, please tag me on Instagram. If you're not following me on there, it's just Jen Chapin over on Instagram. I love to see what you guys are making and doing. And I am honestly a crafter at heart, meaning I have been, crafting and creating and whatever and whatnot for many, many years. But I do have to say, even if you are not necessarily a crafter, this machine is so easy to use. I think that with a little bit of practice, you're going to become super proficient at it. It is so fun to be able to personalize things. I knew that I wanted one of these Kanban boards for my office. However, I did not want to pay, hundreds and hundreds of dollars for something customized. And so by using my Cricut, I was able to customize this exactly the way I wanted it with my own, personalized quote at the top and get it exactly how how I wanted it. So don't forget to check out that link in the description box below to get your very own Cricut. I can't wait to see what you guys make. Here is the little bag that this Cricut comes with. It is so awesome and cute. I totally love it. All right, so I just finished my board and I kind of just set it up here in the living room so I could take a look at it. I love how this turned out. I'm so excited to use this. I did ask Adam about mounting it in the office and he says it's gonna take 2 people because it's so heavy. You could obviously get a lighter whiteboard. I'm not quite sure why I decided to order this heavy glass one, but at any rate, he's gonna help me with that probably this evening. So I'll share with you guys that part, but yeah, I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be super effective for me because I like to see things. And if I don't see, like if it's not in my visual line of sight, it's like, oh, I don't need to do that. And I'm going to color code and do all those things. So I'll share that with you guys, but I'm super excited about this. Okay, so I'm in the process of reorganizing and purging and just cleaning up a lot of my office right now. I am super thankful that I have this like really large space, but at the end of the day, it honestly is hard for me to keep organized just because I have so much crap. So what I am focusing on right now, I guess, is kind of this corner over here. So I bought this Stendig calendar. I thought that I would really love it because I really like the design element of it. However, it's hard for me to reference because see how the format of the calendar goes from Monday through Sunday? Well, here in America, typically our calendars go from Sunday through Saturday. And so every time I look over at it, like if I'm working or something and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out a date. It's not very efficient for me because I have to stop and think, okay, that's Monday and then you know. So I'm gonna take that down off the wall. It's actually October now, so the year's almost over anyway. I have been saving the paper to wrap Christmas presents in, so I am recycling it, but I'm gonna take that down and that's where my Kanban board is going to go. This desk right here, we used to have a computer on it, but we moved that to Connor's room because he likes to play Roblox on it and watch Netflix and stuff while he's playing with his Legos. So I think I'm gonna keep this here and put like my printer and things on top of it. But in order to install the whiteboard, I think I'm gonna need to move this so that Adam and I can kind of get up there and, you know, hold it up while he drills all the holes into the wall. What I have been doing is organizing some of my scrapbooking stuff. So this like little, I don't know what it is. It's like a wood stand. It was actually part of like the very first entertainment center that Adam and I ever had. And when we got rid of it, he took it apart and I've been using some of it for years, like pieces of it in my scrapbook room to organize things. But I've been culling a lot of stuff, giving a lot of stuff away, recycling a lot of stuff. And so I want to get rid of this. It used to be at the end of that bookshelf there. So I think I'm actually going to move this into, I have 2 like really large closets over here. So I think I'm going to move that into there just for storage. And then what I can do is while we're putting up the whiteboard, I can put this desk over there. I do have this like blue Raskog cart from IKEA that I use for like stationery and pens and cards and things like that. One of the things I need to clean up here is this, the end of this. One of the things I wish we would have done in my office was to put an outlet in the floor so that, because I have this standing desk and it would have been really nice if I could like plug my computer in and stuff, but unfortunately we don't. So I do have to run an extension cord and it gets kind of messy and things like that. But I want to go through all of this stuff, basically get the end of the cube section organized. And then I also purchased these really large bins at Walmart, and these are perfect for storing like project-based things for scrapbooking. So one of the projects that I do, I used to do it every year, but I don't so much anymore, is like week in the life or day in the life. And I like having all of my supplies together for that one project. And I kind of needed something big enough that I could hold everything in. So these bins from Walmart work perfectly. They were like literally like $7, so they're really reasonable. And I even have some parts of albums that I haven't finished yet. I have tons of stuff to work on when I retire, right? So one of those is going to be for day in the life / week in the life. One of them is going to be for December daily. And then I have this one over here. This stuff I've basically sorted it by like designer. So this one has stuff from like Kelly Perky and Life Love Paper, who's Tina Asmus. And then I have like a variety of like feminist sort of scrapbooking things in here. Mostly they're Life Love Paper, but I kind of wanted to keep all those things together as well. a Walmart grocery pickup order today, and so I thought I would include that in this video since it was a pretty substantial haul. I am going to be making several fallish recipes for you guys this week, so stay tuned for that video, but I needed some ingredients for that. So I'm trying a new pot roast recipe, and it called for like Yukon Gold potatoes, so I went ahead and got a big bag of those, so hopefully that will be good with the pot roast in the Instant Pot. I also am going to be making a salad with fennel. The only place I can get fennel around here is Hy-Vee, so while most of these things are from Walmart, there were a few items I had to stop at Hy-Vee to get, but overall I was pretty impressed with Walmart grocery pickup this week. They had pretty much like 95% of everything that I ordered, even like the produce and herb items, so I was pretty impressed with that. I was also able to get my flat leaf parsley from Walmart, which is awesome because I can't always get that from there, and sometimes they accidentally substitute curly for flat, so I was glad to see that in my order. I got some fresh rosemary for that pot roast recipe, and all of the fresh herbs I was able to get at Walmart, so I was very impressed with that. I know for some of you guys, you probably always have that stuff available at your Walmart, but for some reason it's hit or miss around here. I needed some celery, but I didn't want to get like a huge, package of celery and then have it go to waste, so I grabbed these little packs of the celery stick. These work really well. Just need a little bit for a recipe because they're already washed and portioned, and then you can use them for other things as well. Like Connor really likes raw celery, so I'll probably pack a few of those in his lunches. I also needed 2 packages of fresh basil, so I got those, 1 package of fresh thyme, and some fresh chive. I did have chives and basil out on my deck, but the weather is turning colder and those have mostly withered away by now, so I was glad I was able to get those in the store. I got some grape tomatoes for a salad recipe. I wanted, one of the recipes that I'm gonna do this week calls for like regular tomatoes. I ordered like 2, but they said they didn't have any and did not substitute them, so I'll have to use those, which will be fine. I got 1 red onion, which I didn't need this much, but it's a huge one. It's fine. I got 1 English cucumber, 2 bags of carrots, 1 for a recipe that I can't remember, and the other one for the pot roast that I'm gonna make. I'm also going to make some homemade applesauce, so for that I need a combination of Granny Smith and like sweet apples. So I got 3 Granny Smith apples. I was happy with these that they gave me. They're huge, so those will work out really well. I got a 2-pound package of strawberries. I feel like we go through one of these every single day if I let my kids, but we were out of those, so I got that. Oranges, I needed some of those for a recipe as well, so I went ahead and just got a big bag of those. I think this is a 3-pound bag of oranges. And then the sweet apples for the applesauce. I got these ambrosia apples. I've never seen those before, so hopefully those are good combined with the Granny Smith for the applesauce. So I also washed up a bag of grapes this weekend, and of course we went through them in like 2 or 3 days. So I went ahead and picked up some green grapes this time. My kids really like those, and honestly it's one of the fruits that actually holds longer in the refrigerator after you wash it, so it's super convenient to prep. And then last thing for produce is I did get some baby spinach. When I do smoothies in the morning, I usually put this in my smoothies, but this actually expires tomorrow and it's looking kind of questionable, so I might get on the app and see if I can get a refund for this. Like I wouldn't pick this one. Like, in fact, I don't know how much I could salvage of that, or if I even want to. I probably could just throw it in a salad spinner and throw out the yucky pieces, but I don't know if I want to spend the time on that, so I might ask for a refund for this just because I feel like I would rather have something that's fresher. But anyway, got that. I think if I do end up tossing this and asking for a refund, I have some frozen spinach that I can use for my smoothies. So, okay, I did get, I feel like this was a substitution, but I can't remember what exactly for. I think it was for some of like those Hormel protein wraps maybe. But anyway, they substituted the panino salami wrap, and I decided I would take the substitution because I think these are actually more expensive. And I don't know if we've ever tried these before, but Kira really likes the pepperoni ones and she does like salami, so I figured she might like to try these. And then I got her 2 packages of the pepperoni paninos. I've tried different brands of these, and I know kids are weird. She says she likes these the best, so I went ahead and picked up some of those. I got some sharp cheddar cheese sticks. I got some garlic and herb Boursin cheese. This is actually for a breakfast recipe that I'm gonna be sharing with you guys soon. Some mozzarella pearls for a salad recipe I'm gonna be sharing. And then I decided to, again, get some bologna. It's probably been about a month or maybe 6 weeks since I bought this last. So I saw it in my app and I was like, yes, we're gonna get the bologna this time. Connor actually likes bologna sandwiches with ketchup and mustard, and so does Adam. And then I did get 2 packs of the Kerrygold butter. I have a couple baking recipes that I'm going to make, and I have found that this is like a higher quality butter for baking, so I have been getting that when I do those kind of recipes. These I actually got from Hy-Vee because my Walmart doesn't carry these, but if you're looking for kind of an innovative like snack for your kids to take to school, I would recommend these. These are the Sabra Kids. They're brownie batter dip and graham cracker sticks, and what they actually are is a chocolate hummus. And Connor really likes these. I either pack them as a snack for him to take for his like daytime snack at school, or I put them in his lunchbox. So I definitely recommend those. I don't think they're very like cost effective. However, I am working on a video where I'm gonna share with you guys like some recipes for like healthy kids snacks that are like traditionally junk food. So keep on the lookout for that video. I'm gonna try to recreate these in a much cheaper form. I also got some of the Dannon Light and Fit Greek Crunch. I try to get these whenever I can instead of the Chobani Flips because they are much less added sugar than the Chobani Flips, and they're just as good. So I got 2 of those. I got some almond milk because we were all out of that, some regular 2% milk because we were almost out of that, and then Kira really likes these Jello chocolate and vanilla puddings. I don't even tell her that they're sugar-free. I just get the sugar-free kind, and like whatever, they still eat them. They're pretty good. And then I also got 2 packages of cream cheese. I'm going to be hopefully making a pumpkin cheesecake recipe that I'm going to try and helpify a little bit. I did order the Philadelphia cream cheese because I prefer that when I make cheesecake, but they were out of it and substituted this, so that's fine. I got some of the pineapple coconut water for my smoothies. I was all out of that. If you've never tried this, it's really good. I don't like drink it straight. I don't really prefer that, but instead of using almond milk or something in my green smoothies, I like to use coconut water and it works out great. I got some more avocado oil. I needed some beef broth for a few recipes, so I decided to get the Better Than Bouillon roasted beef base for that. And then this is also a substitution. I believe I got the turkey one instead of the ham, but these are just good for lunch boxes or after school snacks. So one of the recipes that I'm gonna make this week is an Instant Pot pork tenderloin recipe that I'm really excited to share with you guys. I was very happy with the one that they picked out for me. I wanted to make sure that I got a pork tenderloin that was kind of large enough to be okay for the recipe that I'm gonna try, and this one is perfect. It's about 2 pounds, and I have never seen this brand before at Walmart. It's the Prairie Fresh Natural. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't actually purchased a pork tenderloin in a long time, so I'm looking forward to making that recipe and sharing it with you guys. This is a new item that I saw on the app and decided to try. So have you guys ever tried the Power Crunch regular protein bars before? They're actually pretty good, and I used to purchase them actually kind of frequently when I could find them. Sometimes they're kind of hard to find, but these are the kids Power Crunch, and they're the birthday cake flavor. The reason why I like these is because they actually taste really good if you've never had them before. And like on these, they only have 5 grams of added sugar. And I mean, some of you guys probably like get tired of me saying that when I'm like showing my grocery hauls and everything, but I really do try, or I have been trying, I would say more this year than I have ever before, to not as well, I don't want to say, I mean, definitely limit the added sugar that I'm buying in processed food for my kids. I'm not perfect, and I likely never will be, but I'm just trying to find like healthier substitutions and just things that are still convenient yet don't have like a crap ton of added sugar for them. So I needed some Parmigiano Reggiano grated cheese, and I have some in the fridge, but the recipe that I'm going to make kind of wanted like a higher quality grated Parmesan cheese, so I picked this up from Hy-Vee. And then Pancetta, I was so excited to see that Hy-Vee had this because this is something that I haven't always been able to get here in my town. In fact, I don't know that I've ever been able to get it like before just a few months back. But they do have this at Hy-Vee. It's a 5-ounce package of diced pancetta, and I'm going to be using this for a pasta recipe. I got some whole peeled tomatoes. I have an Instant Pot recipe that calls for those. And then green beans. I'm going to be making these with a side for dinner one night this week. I can't remember what, but sometimes my family, actually all the time my family, prefers canned green beans. Like, I don't know why, just like them. I normally buy fresh or frozen, but every once in a while I get the canned ones. Okay, truffle oil. I don't know if I've ever purchased truffle oil, but today I did. This is a very small bottle for $10, but there is a Rachel Ray recipe that I'm going to be making that calls for truffle oil. So in order to make it authentic, I got that. Okay, have you guys seen these before? They're the Taco Bell cheddar crisp. I saw these on a video, I can't remember whose, and I decided that I would get them to see if the kids like them. I know that Adam will eat them because he likes like the Parmesan crisps and stuff like that, but this one is a Taco Supreme flavor and this one is like a mild flavor. So I don't know if you guys are low carb or keto, look out for those. Let me know if you've tried them and how you like them. I got some sugar-free candy for Adam. This is the Smart Sweet. I normally get it from Thrive, but when I'm out, sometimes I do buy it from Walmart. So I got 2 of the peach rings and 2 of the Swedish fish. We're almost out of bread, so I got 1 loaf of the 100% whole wheat bread, which is normally the one I go with when I shop at Walmart. At Hy-Vee, I normally get the cottage wheat bread. Either way, I always look at the added sugar and make sure it doesn't have a ton of added sugar in it, but got that for sandwiches for this week. And then I am hopefully going to be making some meatball subs this week. So there's no way that we're going to go through all of these in one meal. So I'll probably end up freezing half of them because likely when we have the meatballs, I won't eat bread with it. But the kids normally will eat theirs on like a toasted roll. So keep on a lookout for that recipe. But I got these artisan hearth gourmet French rolls. It says they're new, so I'll have to see how we like those. And then I did get some 3D Doritos. I haven't purchased these in a couple weeks, and Connor really likes them. He likes regular Doritos. I've been really trying not to buy a ton of chips and stuff like that. I've mostly been trying to just buy like pretzels and Goldfish and like plain crackers and stuff, but sometimes I pack these in their lunch and they're really good. If you never tried the 3D Doritos, they're like blast from the past, but they're really good. We're all out of soda, so I got some Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi, some of the sparkling water. This is the cherry limeade. The kids really like this. And then I got some of the Diet Crush. Probably gonna get crucified in my comments now because I said I let my kids drink diet soda 1 a day. Oops. Okay, to each their own. All right, I got some of these 0 sugar cans of Sprite. I thought maybe Adam could take some of these to work. He is mostly back in the office now, and he has a mini fridge in his office, so I thought those would fit well in there. I needed a couple bottles of wine for different recipes that I'm gonna be making, so I got a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a red wine that I'll be using for a recipe, and a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc for a white wine that I needed for a recipe. I did not realize this thing of napkins was so large, but hey, we have napkins now. So got a package of those. Got some more Downy scent beads for the laundry room. And then we ran out of cough drops, and I always just like to have these on hand in case anyone has a sore throat. So I got a bag of those. So that is it for the grocery haul. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to share this recipe with you guys today. It's from my Milk Street Fast and Slow cookbook. And this is for meatballs in spicy tomato basil sauce. So I'm really looking forward to trying this. So I've got my Instant Pot here. You'll need 2 cans of whole peeled tomatoes, some breadcrumbs. For seasonings, I've got crushed red pepper, oregano, and garlic powder. I've also got some fennel seeds here in my mortar and pestle that I'm gonna crush up. Some tomato paste, 1 pound of ground beef. I've got some salt and pepper, some fresh basil, some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, and we're gonna need half a stick of butter. Okay, so to the ground beef, I'm gonna add half a cup of tomato juice that I strained from the canned tomatoes, half a cup of breadcrumbs. We're just gonna eyeball 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, which I need to refill. Looks like I'm almost out. And then I've got 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds in this, so I'm just gonna grind these these up. Okay, so those are mostly crushed. If you don't have one of these, you can use a coffee grinder. That will also work. You can also, in a pinch, put these into a Ziploc bag and bang on it with a mallet. It doesn't work quite as well, but I have done that before I got this. I'm happy to say this is the second time I've used this tool, and Adam told me I would probably never use it, so haha, joke's on him. All right, I'm gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of salt and then 1 teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm just gonna give this a mix. I always like mixing meatballs with a fork because I feel like it keeps the mixture light. It keeps it from clumping up. But you can also mix it with your hands. And if you're making a really large batch of meatballs or meatloaf and you have a KitchenAid mixer, that also works really, really well. And then I'm just gonna divide this into about 10 pieces and roll these into, I'll try to do it in equal size meatballs and then stick this in the fridge. All right, so these are done. I'm gonna put these in the fridge and let them chill while I make the tomato sauce. All right, so I've got my Instant Pot insert here. I'm gonna add the tomatoes into there, 1/2 stick of butter, and then I think I'm just gonna do about 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I don't want this to be super spicy, but the recipe calls for 3/4 teaspoon. And then I'm just gonna put this in the Instant Pot on the saute function and let it come to a boil. Okay, so my tomatoes have come to a boil. I'm gonna go ahead and put my meatballs on top, and then this only has to cook on high pressure for 3 minutes with a 10-minute natural pressure release. Throw in the meatballs. Okay, it kind of says to submerge them a little bit, but I don't really want to, I don't want to smash them, so we're gonna leave it like that. All right, so I'm gonna make some garlic bread to go with our meatballs. I've got some melted butter in this cup right here, so I'm just gonna add, I don't know, probably about 3 cloves of garlic. This is just garlic paste that you can get in the produce section. I like it a lot. To me, it tastes pretty close to fresh. Then I'm gonna add some minced parsley, and then some salt and pepper. And then I just use like a pastry brush to mix this together. And then I'll grab my bread. Okay, so whenever I make garlic bread, I normally just like to use whatever like bread I have on hand. So I have some of these rolls. They're like French rolls, but they're shaped like hamburger buns. So that's what we're gonna use. And then I just brush the melted butter on the bread. Ciabatta rolls are really good too. You can use regular bread in a pinch. I always stick like partial packages of rolls and bread and stuff in the freezer so I can use it for this purpose. And then I have my oven set to 425 and I'll just cook these for probably about 8 to 10 minutes. Just keep an eye so you don't burn them. And you can also sprinkle some cheese on the top if you want to as well. Mozzarella cheese is good. All right, so when the sauce is done, I'm gonna need about 3 tablespoons of fresh basil to stir into that. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop that up now. I got a little stem there. All right. Fresh basil smells delicious. We're gonna make some pasta to go with our meatballs. So I forget what this shape is called. It starts with a C, but I can't remember. I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna butcher it, but I've got a big pot of boiling water here. This is my big Cuisinart pasta pot, which I love. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the pasta and just cook this until it's done. This water is salted really well. So this has been sitting for 10 minutes. When you read a recipe that says like 10-minute NPR or 10-minute natural pressure release, that just means that after it's done cooking, you let it sit in the pot and you don't release the pressure for whatever amount of time that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and release the pressure. You can tell there's still pressure in it because see that little red button there that's popped up? Just make sure that when you do this, you don't have it underneath your cabinets because it will, obviously the hot steam will get up here and will take the finish off your cabinet. Sometimes I try to like aim it over, under the vent hood so that I can suck the steam up, but I'm not sure how much this is gonna go. We'll see. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this because it was on keep warm. And then once the pressure valve drops, you can take the lid off. It's very steamy. You can see that the meatballs are cooked. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the meatballs to a plate, and then I'm going to use the saute function to cook the tomatoes down. I'll mash them up with a potato masher so we can get a good smooth sauce. All right, so I changed my mind. I'm not gonna use potato masher. I'm gonna use my immersion blender because I wanna make sure that it's more pureed than that. But I am gonna add my tomato paste. It calls for 3 tablespoons, which is approximately how much is left in this jar. I get these jars of tomato paste from Thrive Market. They're super convenient because you can just stick them right in the fridge after you use part of them. Okay, so just be super careful if you're gonna use an immersion blender because it is hot just want to make sure that you don't splash it up and burn yourself. Okay, so I've added salt and pepper, and I also added just a tiny pinch of sugar. I know that's sometimes controversial, but it does cut the acidity, especially when you make tomato sauce from scratch. And I just tasted it, it's delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the meatballs back in. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep this on keep warm. I don't wanna simmer it anymore because I don't want it to start to like burn and stick to the bottom of the Instant Pot. So let me grab my basil. Okay, so I'm gonna stir that in, and then this is done. So this will just keep warm until my pasta is done, which it almost is. So I will show you the completed plate. Okay, so I want to show you guys the really cool thing I think about this pasta pot, and I can link this one I have down below. You can get it on Amazon, but essentially it has colander insert in it, so you can just pull the pasta up out of the water like that and then drain it, and then you can grab, you know, whatever pasta you want out of there and then lower it back down into the water so that nothing sticks together if you're serving a lot of people at once. All right, so here's our pasta with our meatballs. This turned out so good. Highly recommend. I'm just gonna put some Parmesan cheese on the top. I'm gonna bump the camera, and basil because it looks pretty. And then here's our fancy garlic bread buns. So that is our fall Instant Pot dinner tonight. Yum. Okay, so since this is a get it all done major productivity video, I definitely wanted to include some cleaning motivation. You can see here that my kitchen is tragic. It is very messy. This is one night after dinner where I had some produce that I needed to put away and just do kind of a little bit of deep cleaning in my kitchen. So I thought I would take you guys along with me. So I bought a ton of apples at the grocery store because I am wanting to make some Instant Pot applesauce, which I'm hoping to make and share with you guys soon. That is one of Adam's favorite fall recipes because his grandparents used to have an apple orchard when they were alive, and his grandma always made homemade applesauce for him. So that's one of his favorite things, and I try to make it at least once a year. So I'm going to go ahead and start unloading my dishwasher. You guys know I load and unload my dishwasher 7 gajillion times a day, but such is life. Not really. I am very grateful, honestly, to have a dishwasher because for a long period of time I didn't have a dishwasher, and then the dishwasher in our first house was actually so ineffective that we might as well have not, would have not had a dishwasher because it didn't really work that well. I'm putting away my pots and my pans and my silverware, and then after that I'm going to go ahead and get started on loading the dishwasher back up. I always feel like loading the dishwasher is a game of Tetris, and I take great pride in being able to fit many, many things in my dishwasher in one pass, because who wants to hand wash all those dishes? Not me. I definitely do have to hand wash some. One thing I would love to ask you guys is, what is your favorite dishwasher soap? I really like the Finish brand, but I have also been using the Cascade as well. I think they're called like the Cascade Action Packs, and those work really well too. I do use the Jet Dry like quick rinse fluid. Do you guys use that? I find that I have a Bosch dishwasher and it doesn't always dry the dishes as well as I feel like it should, and so I really do have to use the Finish, quick dry cleaner, or they definitely will not dry all the way. Okay, so I'm just getting the dishwasher loaded up, and then I'm going to move on to hand washing some dishes. I love this apron that I have from Anthropologie. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore in that particular pattern, but it is available in a couple of other patterns, so I can try to find that and link it for you guys down below. Another thing I was going to mention too about the Cricut is that you can also do fabric projects with it. I haven't done one recently, but I did do some many years ago, and they are super fun to do. So you can be able to customize t-shirts, or you could even make a rainbow apron. I might try to do that. So that's another thing you can use them for as well. And I know that they're super popular to make like custom coffee mugs with as well. And you can either use like ceramic coffee mugs, or you can use like the metal tumblers. I did actually make one for Adam a couple years back with the help of the kids, and we did like a custom Hawkeye coffee mug for him for Christmas, and he definitely loved that. So the soap I'm using right now is actually a dish soap that I got in sort of a package from Grove Collaborative. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It works fine. I like strongly scented soap. So I want to get back to my Mrs. Meyer's fall scents. I love the apple cider, and they came out with a pear scent this fall that's really good. And another one of my fall favorites is their mum scent, which smells delicious. Okay, so now I'm going to get started cleaning my stove. I cannot keep my stove clean because I am constantly cooking on it. I finally got some more Cred Cutter spray. I had to order it on Amazon because I couldn't find it anywhere around here, but that is what works the best in my opinion for cleaning my stovetop up, especially when I have, boiled over water and pasta and gunk and whatever on there. It works really, really well. And I also ordered a new razor blade scraper. I can also link that down below. That's one of my favorite tools for cleaning crap off the top of my range. It's also helpful if you have a glass top range, which I've never had one of those, but I heard that they are sometimes hard to clean. And so the razor blade scraper can really help a lot. So after I take off all the gunk with the Cred Cutter, I use Windex. And since I have a black stovetop, that just helps shine it up really nicely. I haven't really found anything else that works quite as well. So after that, I'm just going to put the grates back on, and then I use the Wyman's stainless steel cleaner to clean the top part of my stove, which is stainless steel. I also use it on the front of the stove, which is stainless steel, and the part that the knobs are in. It works really, really well. I also use this to clean off like the stainless steel part of my microwave and my stove. I cannot recommend it enough. So now I'm going to give my counters a good wipe down. I am using the apple cider Mrs. Meyer's spray. I just had a little bit left in that one bottle left over from last year, so I definitely wanted to get it used up. Now for the sink, I am using my Barkeeper's Friend soft scrub to scrub out my sink, which is fantastic. I love using this to scrub out the sink. I think that it works really well on my stainless sink. I also love the fact that I have like a big deep sink and I don't have a double basin sink because it makes it so much easier to wash large dishes and pots and pans in and things like that. So after I scrubbed it down, I'm just going to go ahead and rinse it off with really, really hot water. And then I'm using some garbage disposal cleaner. These are the Glisten packets. You can get them at Walmart. You just put it down in there and hit go on the disposal and rinse it down with hot water. Next, I'm going to go ahead and give my soap and everything like that a rinse. Everything that I keep in this tray, it gets kind of yucky sometimes when you put it back in there with water. So then you just rinse it off, and I'm putting it back on the side of the sink. All right, so here is my nice and clean kitchen. Hallelujah. This will stay just like this for 10 minutes until I cook something else, but it's always nice while it is happening, right? All right, guys. So I have done so much work in this room and I am super happy with it for now. So let me kind of walk you through what I cleaned and organized. I did go through a lot of my scrapbooking supplies and I'm starting to pull those down, donate them, give them away because I'm just not scrapbooking at the rate that I once did. And I've been saving products for years. I mean, probably a decade or more at this point. So it's like, it's time to let some things go. But over here, basically, this shelf was very cluttered up. And so I decided to clear it off and then utilize the bins on the side of my desk for some of that storage. I do collect typewriters, which I realize is an odd thing to collect. So I am displaying a couple of those here, a blue one and a pink one. I ordered this Lego the other day that I am super excited to have Connor put together for me. It's a Pride Lego. They have it on Amazon if you are interested. And then I have a stack of books here that I need to read as always. I do have another Goodwill box going there that I need to go through some of the kid clothes and put that into. This corner over here is a little bit messy, but it's fine. It's a work in progress. Those are all things from my P.O. box that I need to go through with you guys. And then those bins down there are just scrapbooking supplies separated out. I'm probably going to make room for those in my closet. This part of the room, I am so glad to have reorganized. It makes me feel so much better. It feels so much like brighter in here. I know the cords across the floor are not ideal, but you guys know the amount of crap I had sitting in here before. So much better. I did sort of try and organize some of my things in the cubes and the board that I made with the Cricut. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is fill out some of the sticky note and kind of show you guys how I put them up there. And hopefully this is going to help me keep some of my to-dos visualized and it's going to be awesome. For this part of the room over here, so these are kind of the same bookcase that I have over there storing my scrapbook albums in. These actually do not technically match because one of them's from IKEA and one of them I ordered from Walmart, but it's close enough. I really like having this space behind my desk here because when I'm sitting in my chair, I can kind of just turn around and grab what I need. So I also wanted to make sure that I kind of had everything organized, like I have a plant there and stuff, because sometimes when I do sit down videos, I'll obviously pull that shade down and then I kind of have like a decent looking background behind me on the video. So these are the sticky notes that I ended up getting, and I ordered some of them from Amazon and some of them I just had on hand, and some Sharpies. So I'm gonna go ahead and write down my to-dos, stick them up on the board, and then I will review with you. Okay, I cannot even tell you how happy I am about how this turned out. I think it is gonna be so helpful for me. I'm such a visual person and I do use a planner, but I feel like having all of my to-dos up here on the wall is just gonna be motivating for me. So I really like the idea that I can color code the sticky note too. So I kind of made a legend over here. So these are the different categories I have and what I color coded them. And I just like the idea of that because I feel like I can look at this at a glance and say like, okay, what do I need to do for YouTube? What do I need to do for work? What do I need to do for home, etc.? So I have quite a few things in the to-do list over there, which is, you know, usually how it ends up being is you have more of a backlog. And then in progress, I have some of those things in progress. And then I did go ahead and put some things in the done section just because I'm a person who gets great pleasure in checking things off my list. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this system. You know, you can totally do this with your Cricut and just a whiteboard that you purchase at the store. Like I said, I got mine from Amazon and I love having a really large one so I can put everything on there. But this would definitely work with any whiteboard and I highly, highly recommend it. Stay tuned to see how else I'm going to use my Cricut. I'm going to be using it soon in a bathroom organization video. But I just love it. I love it. I just love it. I love the quote at the top too. I think that just like ties it all together. And thank you to Adam for helping me hang it up. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming along with me on today's video. I hope that you got some productivity motivation. My goal with this video was just to kind of do a mishmash of organizing and cleaning and cooking so that I could give you guys some motivation. Don't forget to check out Cricut. Again, I am so excited that they sponsored today's video. I'll have all of those links in the description box below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.